Okay, so should I rent an airplane, buy an airplane, or borrow a friend's airplane to go through flight training? Hello everybody, my name is Aiden. I'm an 18-year-old pilot, and today we're going to be talking about just that. Now, I've done another video on how much your flight training is going to cost you, and I mentioned in that video how you could save a little bit of money by possibly buying an airplane, even if you're not a pilot. Personally, I rented an airplane for my flight instruction, and I paid nearly $7,000 to do that. I also know people who have borrowed friends' airplanes and flown in a friend of theirs airplane with an instructor to get their license. And I also know people who have purchased an airplane, flown in it for their flight training, and then sold it after their flight training. So we're going to talk about all three of these and the pros and cons of each. First of all, let's talk about plane rental. Plane rental is the way I did it and the way most people do it. It's not very cost effective as it costs a lot of money. It costs quite a bit to rent an airplane. However, it's pretty nice in the fact that if anything were to happen to that airplane, you're carrying insurance that'll cover it. And just regular maintenance costs, you're not going to have to pay. However, it is really expensive. Okay, so the other option is to maybe purchase your own airplane and sell it after flight training, or keep it after flight training. So purchasing your own airplane is actually going to be a lot more expensive than you might think. Not only the price tag of the airplane, but also it's going to be the huge amount of maintenance cost that it's going to take to keep that airplane flying. Not only do you have to get it inspected every single year and do a ton of maintenance work to it, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. Aircraft have some of the most strict maintenance regulations out of any other type of vehicle. So you're going to be paying quite a few $1,000s a year just to keep that plane flying, and even if it's working fine, you still have to get it inspected. You also have to have a place to store the airplane. So you either have to hangar it and purchase or rent a hangar, or you have to put it out on the ramp of an airport, which is cheap to tie down on just the tarmac. However, it can be damaging to the airplane over time with the sun beating down on it and weathering issues. So your plane might depreciate in value if it becomes damaged or neglected. Also, if something were to break on the airplane, you gotta pay for it. I know people who were successfully able to purchase an airplane before flight training and then sell it after flight training for about the same amount, and they had a very nice time with that. However, it's just going to depend on what suits your needs and what you want to do. I also know somebody who borrowed an airplane from a friend. So they had a friend who was already a pilot and owned an airplane, and they allowed their friend to use the airplane during flight training with an instructor, which was great. You just got to make sure that you're carrying a really good insurance policy that's going to cover you in that airplane if anything were to ever happen. So it just depends on your situation and what kind of resources you have available to you. If you have a friend who has an airplane that will let you use it, that's awesome. If you have the money to be able to rent and purchase an airplane and possibly keep it or sell it after flight training, that's awesome too. If you don't necessarily have the money to do those and you don't know if you're going to be flying regularly after you get your license, maybe renting is the choice for you. So it's just going to depend, and I just wanted to briefly go over those three options for flight training in this video. So hopefully I was able to help you guys. If I did, make sure to subscribe if you want to see any more content. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.